Well, hey everybody, welcome back. And in this video, we're going to talk about your chicken list. And this one strikes fear into the hearts of so many people. And what do I mean by chicken list? I'll start off there. Chicken list is the people that you're afraid to call. You're intimidated. You look up to them. You're afraid of what they're going to say. You're afraid of the feedback you're going to get. You think that it's highly likely that they're going to reject you. It's highly likely that they might make fun of you, think less of you. That's terrifying to think of. And all of us have quality people that have different situations in their life than we know about. That they put on a good front, but they're not necessarily living the life of their dreams. So it takes a little skill to be able to kind of, number one, get past this issue emotionally, but two, get past their defenses. And the people on your chicken list typically have, pretty formidable defenses that they're putting up when it comes to telling the world that everything's cool in their life. Even though you might not know that it's not, you can't even really bring it up. I had a terrifying chicken list experience when I first got started in the profession. There was a guy who played for the Minnesota Vikings football team that happened to go to our church. And I looked up to him, I idolized this guy. I worshiped this guy. This guy, I knew him, I've been to his house. He gave me tips on how to play football when I was in high school. Oh my God. And he also had a little network marketing experience. He was involved with a company that wasn't around for too long called Slender Now. It was a weight loss product. Like some of the weight loss shakes you see today, it was one of the first weight loss shakes in the entire network marketing profession, Slender Now. And he'd made a bunch of money. Had been meetings at his house, made a bunch of money, did well. But then the company got shut down, or the company went out of business, one of the two, I can't remember. What happened, because I wasn't even involved in the profession then. But when I first got involved, in my first 3-4 months, I thought, wow, if he would get involved in my business, because I remember back then, even with Slender Now, he was making like $10,000 a month on top of his football pay, playing professional football for the Vikings. Oh my gosh, that would be a huge coup. And he didn't really respect me. He knew my father, and they went to the church, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I had his phone number, so I like, wow, is this a opportunity to be able to see what I could do? So I was still working at this little real estate office where my dad had a real estate. I worked in this office, and they were working in the office. They were doing more real estate. I was doing more network marketing at the time. So I waited till everybody was gone. Everybody had left because I didn't want to be embarrassed in front of anybody. So I finally pick up the phone and I call Wally. His name was Wally Hilgenberg. And here was how it played out in my mind. I was expecting that one of the kids or his wife would answer. And then I'd say, hi, is Wally there? And they'd say, just a second, Wally. And I'd hear, I'd have all this playing in my mind. And then he would come, and I'd have all this time to prepare, and he'd answer the phone. What I didn't expect is he answered on the first ring. Okay? He answered by saying, hello. And I was like, stammering and stuttering. And he's like, who is this? He said, well, I apologize. This is Eric Worre. Hi, hi, Mr. Hilgenberg. I hope I caught you at a good time. He said, what's going on? So I'm stammering and I'm stuttering and I'm red-faced and I'm losing it, and I kind of sputter out, hey, my dad and his partner, they're involved in this thing, and I know you've had experience with these kind of things before, and maybe this would be great for you, and you should really take a look. And within about 30 seconds, he shut me down hard. He said, Eric, listen, I'm not interested. Nobody in my family will ever be interested. Do not call me at home ever about business. And I don't give, I can't remember the exact words, but I don't give you your chances of surviving more than 90 days of, a very high percentage, something like that. And hung up. So, am I encouraging you about chicken lists? Maybe not, but there's a moral to the story. So, I'm depressed, super sad, where gravity's like quadruple. First I'm flattened down on my desk, and then eventually I end up laying down on the floor because nobody else is around. So I do not want to make any more phone calls. I do not want to do anything. But then I got mad. I said, really? Somebody gave him a chance. Why did he need to shut me down like that? Okay, fine. And I wrote his name down on the top of my legal pad. And I left it there for like 3 years to motivate me to keep going when he said I would, because when the 90 days came, I kept going, when he said I wasn't going to do it. So he inspired me. In some ways, he might have kept me in the business because I was so mad at that. And that may happen to you with the chicken list. Probably won't if you do it right, and versus what I did, which was just pure adrenaline. So that's number one. Kind of tell you that story because if you've had an experience like this, maybe it motivated you. Maybe it created a reason for you, an extra little fire in your belly to be able to do what you need to do. But let me talk to you about the positive side of things, okay? That was positive, but maybe a little bit better experience. First thing I need you to do is make a chicken list. You can do this in your workbook on the super indirect, because you're going to want to use a super indirect approach for these people. Who's the most successful people you know? Who are the most influential people you know? Who are the richest people you know? Who are the busiest people you know? Who have the most credibility of anybody that you know? And what I learned over the course of a lot of years is a super indirect approach is going to be best for these people because they're trapped in their ego. Most of them, they're trapped in their image, their persona. So what you need to do is you need to help them preserve their ego and still see the opportunity that you have. And I've done this in a number of different ways, but a super indirect approach basically says, listen, I respect you. You're one of the most fill in the blank people I know. And I have a business that I'm really excited about, and you're not a candidate. I'm not even talking to you as a candidate because I know that you're happy, you're successful, you're fully satisfied, you're fulfilled. I know that. You're not a candidate, but I do know that you know people. You know people that are looking to be able to make some extra money. They need some extra cash flow in their life. They need to diversify their income. They're looking for solutions, in their life. And if you could guide those people to me, take a look at what I have, see if it's something that you're willing to connect people to, and guide some of those people to me, then I'll make it worth your while. I'll figure out a way for you to be compensated for doing that. And most of the time, see people say, "Oh, don't worry about that. If I can make a connection, I'm happy to make a connection." But some of the people in the back of their mind kind of go, okay, well, let me think about it, right? Because they're going to be making a referral and they're going to be putting their name out there, etc. So, what's our job? Our job is to help blind people see. Our job is to take the ignorant and to educate them, even if they're powerful and ignorant people, about network marketing. We're there to educate them about our profession. So this allows us to say, then, I've got a video that'll explain it better than I could. Can I get together with you for lunch with my business partner and we can share with you what it is that we have and you can think about people that you know. I've got this tool, I've got this event, I've got whatever for you to be able to take a look at it. You're not a prospect, I get it. But you know people, right? So, Here's what happens in this process when you use a super indirect approach. If I tell you you're not a prospect and this isn't for you, your immediate reaction is to say, well, why not? Why not me? Well, I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. Don't tell me what I am or am not interested in. So there's a psychological thing when you tell somebody that they can't have something. You can't sign up. You're not a prospect. This isn't for you. But I'm looking for, and then list some attributes that maybe they have. So number one, it's going to mess with their head a little bit. Number two, it gives them an ego opening to take a look at something when, if they felt like a normal prospect, they're going to shut you down before they even get through 5% of it. Because they're going to be offended that they're going to be included in the needy because they don't see themselves as needy. But here's what happens. There isn't an entrepreneur alive that can look at a network marketing presentation of some sort and not start imagining. They can't do it. They just can't. They can't start going, I wonder, if I really flex my muscle here, man, it would be the luckiest day for these people if I ever joined. But man, if I did, I wonder. These clowns that are making this money inside of this company, I could really make some money if I decided to flex my muscle, if I decided to bring my influence, if I decided instead of referring some people, because I do know some people as I'm watching this. I know this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. If those people joined, they could make this person a lot of money. So all this stuff's going to be going on in their head. All of it is going to be going on in their head. And it's when the time comes, they may refer you to people. They may say, look, I want to do a little bit more homework. But then they're in the back of their mind, almost all the time, they're going to have another conversation. Another conversation that says, before you put anybody in, we need to talk. Before you put anybody in, we need to have another conversation because I'm going to be getting in one ahead of these people, just to hedge my bets, make sure that I'm getting full credit for something. And when I say I'm going to make it worth their while, maybe I'll give them the sign-up bonus for the person's initial order or something. You know what I mean? Some little referral. Now back to my Wally Hilgenberg story. Imagine if I went to Wally and said, Mr. Hilgenberg, I'm sorry for taking your time, and as you know, I idolize you as a football player, as a mentor, as a friend to the family. I just think you're the greatest guy ever. And I would never insult you, Mr. Hilgenberg, by talking to you as a prospect because I don't consider you a prospect at all. But I do know that you know a lot of people and you've had some experience with this network marketing thing. And I've gotten involved with something with my dad and John Joyce. And do you know anybody from the old Slender Now days that might be looking for a new home? Might be looking for something that's hot? Do you know anybody from your time and your experience there? I understand it ended badly. But do you know anybody over there that were just so talented? Maybe they weren't even in your downline, but they were so talented that if they decided to do something, they'd break all the records, because there's a lot of money being made over here. I'm just a kid trying to make a name for myself. I'm just getting started in life. I want to be someday like you are. But is there anybody that comes to mind that maybe you could guide me to? Because I know you're not a prospect. I know you're out of the game. I know that you're focused on football and your other business ventures. I understand all that. Is there anybody, if I showed it to you, do you think maybe you could connect me? See, if I made that approach, I'm fairly confident that Wally would have said, show me what you got. Let me see it. Let me evaluate it. Because you know what? I do know people from the Slender Now days. I do know people from that were in my downline, cross line, that were quality people. And I do know that they are looking for a home. See, if I didn't treat him like a little prospect, and I was also, this little kid, no credibility, calling him, and I treated him that way, what do you think my chances would have been? If we went back in time, what do you think my chances would have been? I think they'd been pretty good. Pretty good. He'd have said, yeah, well, let me see the video. And if I show him the video, it's over. His brain's going to kick into high gear and say, you know what, the other company didn't last, but maybe this one can. I wonder if I could do something here. I know all these people. I've got this experience. It broke my heart that they didn't stay around long enough, but I can go after that. See what I mean? So if I use that approach with him, with a pastor, with the head of the Chamber of Commerce, with the most successful business people I know, the goal is to get them to see it and to understand what we have and let their creative entrepreneurial imagination go wild. That's what we do with a chicken list. So as you're in this workbook filling out the super indirect list, that's that list. Those high influentials, high ego, you need to approach them a different way. Be thinking about taking the lid off. Who are the best people you know? If they join, they kill it. You think. Who has the most potential? Who has the most powerful? Who's the richest? Who's the, got the biggest business? Whatever. Add them to that list, and then one by one, as you gather your strength, you see how I did it wrong at the beginning of this training that might have scared you to death, and then you see how I did it right. And those aren't any crazy magic words. It's simple concept that says, you're not a prospect. I really admire you. I know that you know people. And, can I show you what I have? And if you know some people, if you connect me to them, I'll make it worth your while. I'd really, really be grateful to you for forever. If you follow the 8-step approach with the I'm in a hurry and the compliment and everything else, with a super indirect approach, you're going to find that your results are really, really good. And wouldn't it be great to get great people versus trying to turn people into great people? Wouldn't it be great to start there? That's what this approach can do for you. So that's the chicken list. Hope you get value from it. And I hope you watch the rest of the videos, and I hope you're crushing in your network marketing business. Everybody take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.